Hi and welcome to Two Wheels Better from Mallory Park on a beautiful sunny spring day, and we're here to meet Ben Atkins of Reve Racing because this year we're going to be following the Reve Racing team in the British Superbikes. Ben, we're here on a great and sunny day. I hope the rest of the season goes this way. But look, you're a successful businessman. You don't even look like a motorcyclist. I suppose I don't today. But why does a guy like you get into motorcycle racing?
I've always had a keen interest in motorcycling, whether it be on the roads or racing, ever since I was a lad. And really, it's an affordable sport to get involved in. Everything's relative, of course. But, yeah, it's an affordable sport to get involved with, and it's enjoyable. Everybody involved with the sport is down to earth, and I found them mostly to be quite honest, reputable people. It's been a natural progression really from riding on the road myself to getting involved with a racing team.
Yeah. Well, look, you've got this reputation of being a real professional in things when you're running the Kawasaki's. I mean, you turned around the Kawasaki team last year and things started to go well. Now you've got the Works Ducatis. You must be really pleased at having that. I mean, that's a real feather in your cap, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a reward for the efforts that the team put in last year to get the Ducati deal this year. It was great, really. It couldn't have been better. We now know we've got championship-winning machinery, we've got championship-winning riders, and we've got the mechanics that we wanted. We've not settled for second best in any department, and I try and apply the same professionalism with the team that I do in the business, and that's successful, fortunately. So, we just got to keep on plugging away. Everybody out there can beat us, and we've got to do our best to make sure that doesn't happen, make sure that we're professional, make sure that the preparation's right, and we rely less on luck.
Well, I've got Roger Marshall with me. He's the team manager for Reve Racing, and we're here practicing today. Or rather you are, and the team is, not me. Roger, it's early days yet. You've only been going for, what is it now? A couple of hours or so? But it's how are things so far?
Yeah, we started at 9 this morning, Jeff, on schedule, and it's been very hectic since last Wednesday night when we got the bikes. There's been one or two parts we've had to change and put on, and footrest hangers, etc. So the lads have worked very hard over the weekend, burned the midnight oil, the sprayers, everybody's pulled together well, and I think we've got a nice little package together. So at the moment, fingers crossed, it's going well, and obviously at the first practice the riders want to change quite a few things to set the bike up, so but it's going okay at the moment.
What is actually the purpose of today? So it's not even a setting up day, is it, or is it? What's the best way to shake down, run?
Yeah, well, to be quite honest, the spare parts haven't come yet. They're scheduled to come this week. All the sprockets on these bikes, with them being factory bikes, are different. So Renthal have pulled the finger out and got the front ones here. I'm still waiting for the rears and the cush drives. So I've told the riders and the mechanics it's a new team. We all get to know each other today. We don't panic. We've got the weather with us, so it's basically for them to go out, feel the way in. They haven't rode a bike since October time last year, so it's getting to know each other, and hopefully by the end of the day the riders will be getting somewhere.
Well, I was talking to your mechanic earlier and he was saying it's a running in day, but when I was seeing them coming down the start-finish straight at about 130 or something, it looks like they're running in. But in fact they are, aren't they? What sort of revs do they take the bikes to?
Well, we started at 7 today, 7,000, and the tyres on these bikes are a little bit more designed for endurance tyres that they come with. But luckily, one of our main sponsors, Michelin, has turned up and they're putting us right with tyres. And they said, go out and run the bikes in on these. But like you, when I saw them come past a couple of times, I was getting a little bit worried and thought we might better have some softer rubber on. So that's worked out okay.
Well, you meet all sorts of interesting people at track days, but not very often someone as interesting as this chap, Phil Reed, world champion umpteen times, 8 times I think altogether, Phil. What on earth are you doing here at a track day?
I asked myself the same question. No, it's a group of enthusiasts, Russian Pool Racing, that brought 4 or 5 dozen lads here to learn the circuit and actually to raise their standard of riding ability on this super track at Mallory Park.
And so you've come along as a tutor, have you?
Well, I've come along to sort of set the standard and teach them the racing lines, and I think I was surprised a few people how fast this BMW goes.
I was going to say, when I first saw you going round, I'll have to admit I hadn't recognised you first off. I thought, who's that on a BMW? But then I heard the pegs scraping, and so I thought, that's someone who knows what he's about. So how do you find the BMW?
Well, apart from it running out of ground clearance, I mean, it's a very competitive bike. Handles well, brakes well, and goes like a rocket.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic machine for serious motorcyclists. I did 25,000 miles on one of these last year. In all weathers, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and you certainly surprised a few people around here on blades and Ducatis and whatnot.
Well, yeah, because on the Honda Fireblades, they think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, but they've got to learn to ride them as well.
Yeah.
But they are fantastic bikes, and I think they've learned a few things here.
Well, that's good. That's what it's about. Now, tell me, you're not entirely out of racing, are you? You're coming back in the in the Past Masters.
Well, yes, we're past masters here at the post-TT meeting. We're all racing Triumphs. We've got Gary Nixon over here, and possibly De Hamel and Aldana, famous American riders, plus all the old...
Is Aggo coming over as well?
Well, Aggo doesn't actually like to race now. But no, I mean, I still like to race. I know I'm a grandfather, but yeah, I can still... I can still cut it, yeah.
There we are. Well, it's nice to know that you're still hanging on in there racing, and so you lost none of your enthusiasm for motorcycling, obviously.
Well, yes, I'm now getting my sons into racing. We're looking for a sponsor to help them reach the heights.
Yeah.
So and my eldest son he's more sensible. The job he took, he's got a pension and an ejector seat flying tornadoes for the Royal Air Force. So I think he was a more sensible one.
So a chip off the old block anyway.
Yeah, we're known as Speedy Readers.
Thank you. 2 guys I've got with me here, Steve Hislop and John Reynolds. They've been cracking around the circuit today, thoroughly enjoying themselves like a couple of spoilt kids, but I suppose they are really, having these Ducatis. Look, they're even laughing now. Steve, you first. How have you gone on today? How's things gone?
Yeah, good. It's nice to get back on a bike after a long winter. And, the engines needed running in, so I've just been bedding them in, both bikes each, and just building up slowly, making a few adjustments.
I know, I've seen this running in thing. I thought, well, I didn't run my bike in like that. What were you doing, about 130 down here, something like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, even these bikes, even at 7,000 or 8,000 revs, the gearing that they're pulling, they're still motoring on like 130 mile an hour, as you say.
Yeah. Well, I know you're not really mixing it, but there's other guys on a track day here today. I don't know what they think to you guys screaming past. But is that a problem to you when you're on a mixed circuit like this, John?
No, not at all, really. I mean, we're quite grateful that they've let us actually come and test with them. Yeah, you've got to watch out because of the speed difference. You can actually arrive on a corner probably 80 mile an hour faster than the guy in front of you is. But, I mean, to be fair, they're just out there having a good time, the road riders, and, we're out here trying to go quick. So we just respect what they're doing.
So, look, plans for this year, obviously you're going to trounce everyone else on the field, or that's the intention, as you wouldn't be doing it.
Nice to think so, anyway.
But what are the plans? Obviously, it's a new team coming together. You're going to be feeling your way initially, as it were. But Ben's got great aspirations for the team, and I'm sure you share that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a personal friend of Ben anyway, and I think the team works as like a family. I've known Steve for years, and we want to make this team as successful as possible, and hopefully, take the title this year, either Steve or myself, and move into World Superbike the year after. But we'll see. I mean, it's a long, hard year. There's a lot of good riders out there in England at the moment, so it's going to be a tough old season. Looking forward to it.